guessing intelligently. For example, disregard any obviously wrong answers first. Now, as I said, the vast majority of the questions are multiple choice, and the majority of those will only need to choose one answer. But there will also be kind of a case study kind of thing, which Comptia refers to as performance-based questions. So there's a bit of verbiage to read about some scenario or other, and the different answers to answer, where you might have to drag and drop different processes in the right order or something. Choose which project documents need updating. But as I said, the bulk of your time will be spent answering multiple choice questions. You can mark a question for review to come back to later, but you can be a bit wary of this because you need to be careful that you don't end up marking everything for review, because that means you're taking the full exam twice, basically. So I tend to try and be quite selective, and I usually end up with, I don't know, no more than 15 or so to review at the end. The pass mark is 710, so that's the number to look out for, and you will see your result after you finish, but rather agonisingly, they make you take an online survey, presumably rather than you to choose on your results for a minute or two. But when you finish the survey, you will see your score, whether it's a pass or fail, and then afterwards you can log into Comptia and see the general areas in which you got questions wrong, as per the domains in those exam objectives. And I seem to remember waving at you at the end of last video. If I just show you what that looks like, if you log into Comptia and take yourself to the Manage Exams area, now be aware that websites do change, so it might not look exactly like this when you just click around, but you want to get to Manage Exams, because that's where you can see what exams you've got scheduled, and also you can view your exam history and see score reports and whatnot. If I just click score reports just here, that means that I can see, yes, I've taken this particular exam, I passed it, and obviously I can just click here to see my score report itself, which is where I can see the exam objectives and I didn't learn properly and I get questions wrong in those areas. When it comes to preparing for the exam, then do look at the exam objectives. It will certainly give you a feel of what you're supposed to know, and be aware that there are some things which you are just going to have to learn off by heart, definitions and whatnot. For example, the difference between smoke testing and regression testing. Of course, I'm going to be taking you through all of that as we progress through this course, but my point is, there is some stuff you're just going to have to learn. Now, if you are an experienced exam taker, then just do what you normally do to learn stuff. You will already know what approach works for you. But if it's been a while since you last took an exam and you're feeling a bit daunted at the thought of how you're going to revise, then I suggest you create some flashcards for yourself. And before you ask if I've got a set that I could share with you, could I just say that the actual creation of the flashcards is a great revision exercise in itself, and so I urge you to create your own. And there are free apps that you can use if you like the idea of an electronic approach. For example, in the past I have used Quizlet on my iPad, but do you know what? If in doubt, just use bits of paper. This revision activity is a relatively short-term effort, so don't waste time choosing just the right app.